Welcome to EnergyWorks, the new moon. And this new moon is born from the break, April 17th, 2026. So go ahead and just close your eyes, put your attention inward on your heart as we open to the wisdom of our heart. Connect and ground and spin round and round as we open the space and call in the loving, living light of Christ and fill the space. And just focus on your breath. And I am going to kind of drop in the song to this audio when you listen to it. And as you're listening to the song, I want you to just have awareness within your space, the light of awareness.
Something old is finally ending. I can feel it in my bones. All the weight I've been carrying was never really mine to own. There's a fire in the distance, but my legs won't seem to move. I've been standing at the threshold, trying to find a way through. I gave so much to what was over, held on longer than I should. Tried to fix what couldn't hold me, tried to stay where I once stood. But the ground has shifted under, and the fear is just the door. There's a version of me waiting, braver than I was before. Here I am at the beginning, starting over, learning how dreams are asking to be built now, not tomorrow. Right now I'm a little tired, a little broken, but I know which way to go. New moon rising, I am opening, letting something new take hold. Not forcing it, not rushing, not pretending I'm not scared. Just returning to the center, finding what is really there. I don't have to have it figured, I just have to take one step. Everything I've been through brought me to this moment and this breath. Here I am at the beginning, starting over, starting now. What I dreamed is asking to be real, and I'm finally ready. Somehow I'm a little cracked, but I am open. That's exactly where the light gets in. New moon rising, I am ready. Let the whole thing start again.
It comes up to remind you to integrate, to get into relationship with it. And just shine the light. You don't need to do anything with it, but you're sitting with it. As you shine that light on it, that light is living, it is alive. It starts to change it and transform it because it only wants to come into relationship and to be in the greater whole with you. So identify what you feel is ending. And what new beginnings, because an ending and a beginning happen side by side. And maybe you have gotten some glimpses, some people have gotten new homes. Just maybe you, even if it has not manifested, there are reflections lighting up for you. Something new, something different. And just for a moment, shine the light on that. Maybe your thought process is different. And then be aware of that space in between. It's that born from the break, that crack, the space in between. And just notice what is in that space. What does it feel like? Maybe notice how you don't look at that space. Maybe you just look at what you want, what you don't want. That space is what we call the diamond. That is who you are. It is the loving, living light, the eternal light. That is the energy that we're going to move today. So take a breath. Something old is ending. And why it's important, because I've talked to many people this week, they've had like a breakthrough in a project, but something else in their life at the same time, a lot of grief came up and pain about something old, like in even their family structure. And they were crying and they said, well, I'm so upset because I should be celebrating my win. But this is common. Both happen at the same time. The ending, the beginning. And the moment you can feel that grief, even identify the grief or the ending, it makes way for the breakthrough of the new beginning. And our minds don't really see endings and beginnings. They kind of see the edge, and that's why they both happen of the space. Both are happening at once. And so they feel conflicted. And if you have, so just identify maybe something in your life, what you want to end. Maybe it hasn't ended, but what you'd like to end. And maybe what you'd like to begin. And just take a breath and notice, where do you tend to exist? In the ending or beginning? Or in the space in between? And notice if you are in an ending, notice if you don't want to be there. You don't think you should be there. You think you should be somewhere other than you are. And just actually be right where you are. It's kind of, if you experience the grief, that is a breakthrough. Anger, breakthrough. A lot of people are getting angry because they've been repressing things in their subconscious, and now it's coming up, and I'm like, congratulations, because they're breaking through. And that fire, in a sense, is creating that crack so the light can come out and through. they can break their old structure that they've been living in, and now it's creating a whole new one. And just be aware of your space, kind of the bubble around you. Be aware of your heart. Be aware of your pictures. Most of us carry something that was never ours. And just notice, you can even place your hands side by, kind of out like a scale, kind of what weight you got handed. Who put kind of pictures on you, energy on you, who made you responsible. Maybe it was because even a parent wasn't capable, so you became very capable. So you had to move the family. Pain that got pressed into you by family or people around you. And just be aware with that flashlight, kind of the light of awareness. Look at the pictures. Burdens that you absorb from people around you because you were the one who could feel everything. And without changing it, just be honest with yourself. And maybe notice even at work, when there is the demand on you, pressure on you, and you feel like it's collapsing in, do you just take it all on to try to perform, to try to fix? Now we know when we're taking on things because you get into fixing, trying to solve something. My life is not working, so I got to fix it. What do I do? What am I going to do for this moon? We try to hold it together. We try to stay in relationships and situations that hold us back. And just really get that you have never been too much, but the container was too small. The container of the relationships that you were in, and the container is pictures too. Pictures that we stayed in, neglected, maybe deprived, feeling isolated and alone, and truly people around us, and just such a disconnect. And they're unwilling to process their emotions, and so you take it in and on. And just notice what that is doing to your body. This week, a lot of people have had body issues, mysterious illnesses. My blood sugar was flipping, and I'm like, what is going on? And it started to, even when my dad was getting cramps at night and my brother got a cramp at the same time I woke up, were connected. And just start to notice kind of what is the impact of the energy that you've absorbed and what is happening in your body. That would be an ending. The ending of where somebody can't handle and are, the pressure cooker releasing all the steam out and their frustration of everything they're doing, and now you're absorbing it in your space. That is an ending. It means that you've become a container, and you are not here to hold what is not yours. And just be aware of that. Containers are our body. We contain a lot of water, a lot of energy. But pictures are containers. They contain energy and information. And people's pictures that were pressed into you, that were projected into you, that we project even onto people, or that we have projected a picture and now we have an opinion about the picture we projected, and now we're having an identity of that. Our self-identity is based then on that picture that was generated from self, or maybe projected on us by another. If this happens, the disconnection is created. and just kind of look in your field. Because looking in your field, to know thyself, you have to be aware of your pictures and your opinions. What opinions do you have about yourself? And when you shine the light on it, they start to dissolve automatically. And notice, too, where people tell me all kinds of pictures. Most of them are false. And what it shows me is they've forgotten their wholeness. And notice if there's anything in your life you're trying to fix, whether it's your health, your finances, relationship. When people try to fix, they try to fix and change the picture. But just look at the picture's made of light. You kind of move through the light. You can't fix the picture. So we have to move our attention back within our heart. And it is from there that we change the picture. It is there, and place your hand on your heart, that you say, I remember. Sophia, I remember. What does that mean, Divine Mother? I remember who I am. I remember that the loving, living light of Christ is in me. I remember. Now this is a heart-based wholeness, seeing self accurately, not having an opinion of separateness, or now we know that we're separate because we're usually in duality. So just notice if that is the case. Shine the light on it. And then just respond to it by your attention and placing your attention on your heart. Most people have a lack of attention, non-disciplined attention, and because they do, well, it creates all kinds of crazy things. And the more they put attention on a picture, everyone else starts gathering around the crazy picture. So you have the power to collapse a picture. You will not put your attention and energy on a false picture. And so just pull your attention back to your heart. Take a breath and identify what you want to end. Pull your energy out of the picture. And just notice, without thinking about it, what are you carrying right now that was never yours to begin with? You can even maybe scan. You may not have an answer, but just kind of scan your space. You may see it as a dot of energy. People project. It's everyone's attention going out, and they need a place to put it, just like a seed in the ground. And just notice, how much does that weigh? How much energy do you feel overwhelmed with demand, solving people's problems? How much you're carrying and you don't have the capacity to carry anymore. And notice then if you feel like you'll disappoint the people around you. And notice, are you staying in other people's pictures to be loved, that you don't fit into anymore, any structure that you've outgrown? Just be aware of it. To make it conscious, to shine the light, brings it to a reconciliation on a very deep level without fixing, because consciousness, the light, can collapse it. So the true light, the living light, can come in you. And just pull all your attention and energy back, call it in your heart, as we collect this energy up from pictures, from different people, collect it up from objects. When you look at the Alpha and Omega, the beginning, the end, I want you to, look at the body, not as thought, but in your physical body, like how energy moves. And energy moves in a circuit, the beginning, the middle, the end. Notice if you are in your bubble, in the space, what side does your energy collapse to? Or where are you sitting in your bubble? If you're sitting too far forward, it means you live in the future. If you're too far back, stuck in the past, just notice even how you're sitting, your shoulders, your body, your stomach, just notice it. Don't fix it or explain it, just shine the light on it. And just project out in front of you that loop. And that loop is that 4-petal, the vertical figure 8, the right and left loop, masculine and feminine space loop, how we occupy space, and the front and back, intention space, backspace, timeline loop. This is the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and end, and the energy moves in from the beginning, kind of intention space, and then to the end. And when you look at that diamond, that is the living light. That is the Christ. More like, that is the light even within you. And just see the bubble around the loop. That's kind of the womb, like Mary's womb, the container. That circle is containing your energy, containing the movements, the loop, creating the diamond because of that movement. And the beginning, middle, and end, that's the feminine. That's holding you, containing you. And have the intention, you are focused within your heart, and that contains the energy, moves the energy within you. We are learning to hold the energy, our energy, the living light's energy, as opposed to carrying other people's energy, projecting our energy into other containers of people, objects, things, or pictures. So what you've been carrying, and just kind of get a 0 to 100%. How much am I carrying that is not mine? And get a percentage. That part is what was projected into you. And just notice even people's pain, people's unprocessed pain. Just even get a kind of, you can maybe see it or just feel it. Or injustice. How much, because if we're dealing with injustice, it was projected into you and now you carry it. Or the people who call themselves family until you ask something real from them. And then they cut off the communication. The moment you needed them, they pulled away. And I have to say that when people start energy work, that's what happens. People that are really not your friends pull away. Because you are seeing the truth. And you are not carrying people, you are not a pot carrying people's piss. Or a pot to piss in. They want you to keep giving, keep feeding, keep healing. But that is not relationship. That is more what you take on. And your container is for the living light. So commit to that new picture, the diamond in you, that living light of Christ, the container, kind of divine mother. The feminine aspect is birth, life, death. And that is moving around you, containing the light. Inward focus. Now our attention drives our energy outward, just like the waves. But when you drop into your heart, it comes inward, completing the circuit. Just take a breath and let the energy just move kind of out to the edge of the bubble, about 5.5 feet to 8 feet. And back. You can just allow it to happen without thinking. And just see and commit to the light that is really in you, your truth that has always been there, that you've never been able to see because you've been in the mind. I want you to know the difference of what is projected into you and now will have a physical response or even a physical element. What is yours, what is not yours. And see the light instead emanating out of your heart. That is you. There's no weight to it. There's not the projection, just there's not a wound. It is loving, living light. And feel kind of that support of Divine Mother containing you. You are in the womb. You are a container of light. This is a new beginning, because if you contain the light, now the reflection out of you is loving, living light. It's wholeness, something that is so new, something that the mind cannot create, does not know about. So just focus on the heart and your breath. And I want you to just see the loop out there, and you can even imagine that as the loop, the cross. And I want you to project all of those false pictures, maybe all the pain in the body, everything that was pressed into you, projected into you, and put it on that loop. Put it in the cross. Let the structure take it on. You don't need to carry it anymore. When you look at Christ on the cross, he took on all of humanity's projections, all of the wounding, what people could not own in themselves, so he took it on to move it. His own friends denied him, and yet Mary Magdalene and Mary's were standing there. And it's important because they were standing there, not necessarily, yes, it was hard to see both was happening, the Omega, the Alpha and Omega, standing there looking at the broken body, kind of the broken space, the death. But they could stand there because they could see from wholeness, they could see the light in him, the living light. They could see the truth, not just what the mind says is ending. And this is why it's important, because as you go through your transition, it will feel like a death. It is a death. It is a death of the old. But when you can stand there, the feminine standing around you, birth, life, death, standing, holding space, seeing that once a cycle is done, a new cycle begins. And you have to recognize, most people think it is an ending or they're not getting their new beginning. Well, see, as the Marys saw, they saw the eternal, they saw the wholeness, they saw the living light. And just take a breath. And project maybe all the pain, the sorrow, the rage, the grief, the hurt, any anger of what you took on. Project it into that loop and let it move. Let it be absorbed. Let it go. It's like a portal sucking up, like a black hole, sucking up everything that you've contained. And just see where you feel you have to hold it. The weight is on your shoulders, and just let it go. And now just bring your awareness back into your heart, back to the light. That this light has not changed. And it is constant light. Now I want you to plant the seed of your intention in your heart. And just say, I open to the wisdom, Sophia, of my heart. And you can even not know what that intention is, or you may have an intention. It is a seed. That diamond is the seed. And the field around us is the space. And just identify what color diamond that is. And let that take root. In that space, it's like the space in the ground. It's the womb. Every intention must go in. This is the new moon. It's the dark moon. And it starts with that seed, and what activates that seed is internal light. So just see the light moving around it, that it is living, that seed, that it ignites. The womb, or the space around us, receives before it creates. You are the receiver of the light. And let your heart receive something new, even if you can't name it yet. The ending, the beginning are held kind of in the same moment, the alpha, the omega, the completion of the circuit around you, of the birth, the life, the death. And it is that space in between that keeps your circuit moving, circling around you, activating you. Take a breath, and in this part, we're just looking as the wound, as that doorway, the break kind of in the container that allows the light to come in or the light to come through. There's a line in the song that I want you to stay with. I'm a little cracked, but I am open. That's exactly where the light gets in. And so you may feel that crack. It's not damaged. The crack is an opening. It's like as we're creating a metamorphosis, cracking the old structure, like Christ cracking the death of the old to become the new. And just acknowledge everything that you've been through. And there's been wounds coming up all week, like very old wounds of who you are, but that is not who you are. And maybe your right to exist, where you're too much, or you have given and people have cut you out and you're not enough. Or all of what was not meant to define you, it was meant to open you. So these cracks and the pain, you embrace them because it is meant to open you and then fill that space up so we don't put a lid on it, that we don't contain it. When we reject a feeling, an emotion, we'll put a lid on it. And that energy in our backspace gets stored and it starts to unleash. And now we're creating from duality as opposed to that charged seed within us. The version, and there is a version of you that has been through everything, and you've been through, and it's not broken by it, like you've made it through. It feels maybe like you're broken, but you're braver than you were before, and that's what this time is about. Your courage, moving beyond. I was talking to a client, and they were saying, I'm like, what is this courage, lack of courage? Oh, they were convincing me of all the courage they had at their job or at their company. And I'm like, there's no question. And it's interesting because in work, they have such courage, they don't even think about it. They move ahead, they just do. And it is like they know, because there is no break, that it will get done, that they will achieve, that there's courage there. And they know when they show up, it changes. And then I'm saying that is not the courage I'm talking about. It is with relationship, your courage to communicate. And then, sure enough, it was something has come up, the lack of courage, now they take off, because the fear of the communication of the feelings, and then the break, now disassociation, or leaving the space, fleeing the space. And just notice for yourself. Choose that courage in your heart, that light, the courage, or ask the living light, because it has courage. It can take a step. And there is a version of you that has been through so much. And you're asking this wisdom to be unified, just to keep moving. And in the movement, things change. As opposed to being divided, wounded, now hesitating, not knowing what to do, feeling like you did the wrong thing, all the mind. That is the energy work for this new moon. Not pretending the wound is not there, but asking the healed self to lead you. The healed self is the undivided self, asking the heart to unify the time or the space or the above and below. And a part of that healing is what we're doing, shine the light of awareness, to be present with it. And when you can be present with people, just present, shining the light and watching yourself shine the light. Maybe the energy's too much. You can go to kite space and watch your body shine the light. But to acknowledge the wound, acknowledging it gives it it lights it up, so it becomes conscious. Now it's not running you. And now you're going to feel it. And I want you to embrace it, because this is where people then deny it, shove it back in the shed. No, you're going to feel it. You're going to bring it in the light. You're going to see that you then are truly the diamond light, and it comes back into relationship. And the body knows. So I want you to check in with your body right now. Because one of the things, this particular energy of this moon is coming up, is there's two things, and it's going to change. There's this feeling of being drained. I'm really tired. I'm diluted. I can't quite get it going. I'm usually more active, attention, doing things, and I can't do it. So you have to give yourself a break. That is not the sign that is something is wrong. It means that your body is processing something. And we were talking before class, it is extra sleeping, extra being tired, sometimes it is easier for the body to do it in the dream space. So it needs to go to sleep because it can't consciously process it. So give yourself some extra space. And everything that has been moving through you energetically, emotionally, spiritually, it has a physical cost. So all of the things that have been dumped in, now we're releasing all these things. And now the body, the spirit in the body, and that's what this moon is about, is really creating a structure and having legs on that structure. So now that our dream truly comes in and we have that new beginning. And sometimes we just need to give ourselves a break and to take it easy. It is not going to always be that way, and maybe you have fear because it feels like that. So just notice where in your body you may feel stuckness and place the light of your attention right there. You do not need to fix it or do some procedure. Just acknowledge it. And what is coming up in people are a lot of old kind of trauma wounds in the body that they seem like it's manifesting into some physical symptom, but it's actually coming up and out of you. So just acknowledge it, recognize it, and see this as your breakthrough. And just start to notice, what would it feel like for you to stop forcing and fixing and just receive? So be in the diamond of your heart and receive. The intention, and now things tomorrow, next 2 weeks, we are going to be moving forward. We have this wounding coming up. Maybe it'll still come up, but it is actually going to move us forward, and we're going to be moving forward in a very fast way. We're going to be like lightning speed. Now, it may not seem like that, and so we want to move into something different, something that is opening up. And you may not see anything right now, but when you start to look at your heart and ask the wisdom, you're opening to the wisdom of the heart, you're opening up to see something new. This moon is not about just release, it really is about being renewed. It is about your dreams are asking you to build something new, not tomorrow, but right now. So just see something new, like that sprout in the ground, in the seed, in your heart. It is happening now. It is already happening in your subconscious. You may not see it, but just acknowledge the light of awareness, the living, loving light starts to activate it. And in that activation, now your dream starts to become the vision with legs. A dream lives in the mind when people dream kind of, in the sky, but a vision has legs, it has a structure, it has a plan, it has something that it can actually land, the foundation. And the energy is asking you to just imagine and give it form, that you can inhabit it. I was talking to a client today as an example, and her father had passed that she did not communicate with because, in a sense, the father, had a lot of opinions about the person she was going to marry, and so she cut the communication with him. So there was no communication, and now the person died, and all these feelings, all these things coming up, all these unprocessed emotions. And it's so interesting because when you want to be supported in a space and maybe never were by one of your parents, it's even the things that you do on a career level, like she created spaces, architecture, like design for people, trying to create what her father couldn't do, And you got to look, these are pictures showing up. And in doing that, trying to resolve it, but even in that, trying to fix it, trying to fix the broken wound, what happens is the people even attracted to the projects, they couldn't show up. Timelines are off. They couldn't occupy space, not supported. So this is the same old picture that we're looking at, that we're letting go of, you know, trying to recreate structure and support and love and people being there and it not happening. And just even that awareness alone of why we do what we do, it is because typically there's a break and we don't have, so then we're trying to fix it. And so now tonight we're going in the heart. We recognize that we're whole. We don't fix. We recognize that we are the container. We are the house. That the light is in us. It is contained. And in that, it activates the diamond. And from that diamond, it starts to give you legs, meaning this is where our attention goes out. So with your attention, allow it to move in the lower loop. When you move it into the planet, place the diamond in the womb of the planet, that diamond of your intention, and allow kind of that diamond to be supported by everything you're releasing, because it needs fertilizer, the intention. All these things that you don't want are fertilizing this intention. And then as the renewal comes up, kind of this circuit of connection, communication, of co-creation, this relationship, and feel the relationship from your heart to the earth, that circuitry. Because when you go in nature, that is where you truly feel the garden. The garden is there. You can feel it. You can feel flow, the living light. You're not disconnected. Nature responds to you. I get more communication from my birds. I've got, you know, my family of crows. There was a big fat dove on my tent right before I got on the call. The dove that breaks the branches of the neighbors. Like, so much communication and relationship. And you feel it in nature. So an intention, look at, is in the earth, the seed. And now your relationship with it from your heart, release and renew. All the things that we're letting go of are helping that seed to renew. And then from, you know, your heart, even above, where you're sending kind of the connection into the sky, into the blackness, the void, that diamond up there, like the diamond in the sky. It's a womb up there. And then you have this request, this receive. And feel that connection with Source, with God. But it's in you, and you can feel the diamond above in your heart and in the planet. They're aligned. And the circuit is just moving, activated, in relationship, unified. And that is the most important loop, because in that loop, we know who we are. We haven't forgotten. We are not in the mind. But we live in matter. We live in time and space. So let your attention from your heart just kind of go to the intention space. And that diamond is in a field, an intention space. And just see what color diamond that is for your intention, the new beginning, the beginning of something new. And see it in that womb, kind of a field of energy contained. And you've made your connection with it and that circuit where the attention moves out, and that is action. And this week, I want you to even just one step of identifying something new, taking an action step. And then the circuit coming back as you drop in your heart, attraction. So the energy, like a wave, moves out and back, activating the intention space, your future now. That is the future now. If you are in your mind and you're thinking about what am I going to do in my future, and you're not in your heart, the energy doesn't come back, and then the energy gets stored in a future picture, and you say, why doesn't it ever happen? Pull your attention back and just call it back. And now you become in relationship with it. And then just connect behind you to your backspace. And this is a black field, like in the sky, like the void. And this is a creative field. It is a womb. It's like in the earth. And just see your diamond in the backspace. It's in the shed, the dark shed. And as you connect to that, this is what you're identifying here of what is ending. You're acknowledging an ending. And notice if you have any resistance to what you don't want. Because if we can just acknowledge it, that's it, acknowledging what we don't want. You don't become it, you make it conscious. And then it comes, put your attention back on the heart. Now the energy comes back in that circuit so you can access the energy. You acknowledge, you access it. And when you're acknowledging it, you're feeling it to heal it. And now we access the energy of it. And then just see this as a unified field, meaning it connects the alignment of your intention to the alignment of what you don't want. So you're creating space, you're letting go, it's moving into the earth, you're releasing. The more you can let go of, the more intentions, new beginnings you have. And now it's moving in alignment. So just focus on your breath. And as you just place your attention in the diamond, just allow all the circuits to move, front and back, one unified field of your time loop, up and down. That is your connection to God and the planet. And then the space loop is right and left, where your intention on the right is about your action, the fire, the passion. That is what this new moon is about. This boldness, this courage, this masculine energy. It is like that client saying, oh, when I want something, I'm going for it. No divide. It's just about no divide. And then on that receptive blue side, the water side, the feminine receptivity. And that is unified. That is the space loop. And you don't need to think about anything else except for those loops moving around the diamond. That is what creates the diamond. That movement keeps you in the center, in the space in between. And just feel that. Feel the centeredness of that. Call your attention back from space, wherever you projected it out, because when I'm looking at everyone, it's like the mind gets too involved. What am I supposed to do? It goes out. You just drop in the heart. It automatically pulls it back. And you let the mind go out. It goes out to the edge of kind of your action and receptivity, and then the heart brings it in. It goes to the future, it goes to the past, heart brings it into the now. Above raising vibration, lowering it, woof, it moves right into the now. This is that threshold. This is that portal. And I want you to come back to where we started. Something old is ending. Something new is beginning. And you are at that threshold. The Alpha, the Omega. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't even need to be certain. You don't feel like you have to be ready. You are just occupying space with the living light, with the presence. And you just need to take one little step. What is one brave step that you can take? One action in the next 2 weeks? Just one. Something that moves you forward where you're standing right now. The moon is not asking you to have it all together. It is about asking you to be open. For you to remember, I am the diamond of my heart. That is why you are here. This new moon rising and the whole is being created within you, and just feel it shining out of you. Take a deep breath and project that diamond out, because that is where we are seeing our wholeness. We are in agreement to our wholeness. And with the timeline speeding up in the next 2 weeks, you may feel like you are hanging on, but just say, unify my timeline. Because sometimes when we feel the energy go fast, we want to slow it down. But I want you to just kind of go with the current, because change can happen just by being carried and by acknowledging and calling in that, no, the light is in you, the Christ is in you, and Divine Mother is circling around me, activating me. And then notice where your attention does go in objects and people, or what pictures we identify with, and then you're going to collapse all those. And you can move all of that onto the loop to take it on, like the cross, or move it in the ground as fertilizer. So the diamonds are all around you, above, below, right, left, front, back, and your circuits are activated, unified field. So may it be with the blessing of the loving, living light that you are embodied. In 2 weeks, we're going to have some big energy as well, but you will be new. You will be renewed. You will be stepping and seeing life from wholeness and in a whole new way. So I am sending you so much love and blessings, and I'll be opening up for questions. No, that's perfect, because...
But yet I felt okay.
Well, and when you think about it, we talk about the horizon a lot. We talk about the horizon with our intention in the diamond space. And, this is actually where you want to be, because, if we know the horizon, we know where we want to go. Now we're doing that pretty much because we don't want something. It's kind of like the person, that wanted to be acknowledged by the Father, to be, supported in the space, wasn't. So now they're going to just create that based in their wound. So they're going to create the opposite of the wounding. So what your dream was about is creating in the unknown, and that's that diamond space, creating beyond what we know, because you don't have a structure or a frame of reference for the new. So the dream is like flying off, or it's like the horse kind of dream Noe just had in class. Carrying you. Your car, isn't it interesting? The movement carrying you, into the unknown, being supported and flying. So that's beautiful.
Oh, good, because it did feel like I was flying because I could see the horizon. I could see everything, but I couldn't see where I was going. And
Yes.
I took that as a negative.
No, not at all. That's what we want to do, because
thank God.
otherwise you are creating from the unconscious wounding. It's very interesting too, because, someone else, a woman, like, always had a crush on this guy. Very young. They knew each other young. Their paths, she was super shy, but, he was rich, she was really poor, so she had low self-confidence. And then, she, because of that though, she went on overdrive, created a lot of money, and met up and realized that it was even that wounding, because she wasn't enough. Now she thought she had to be so much. And based in that old picture of what was repressed, not enough, so insecure, had to make money to feel like you're, not that that's the truth, and to be on that level. And and then they just met, and all this unconscious stuff came up. But see, people don't know why they do things, and people do things because of a break in a loop, and from creating in the mind, which means that we go opposite. Somebody's good, I'm not good, so I'm going to prove myself, and I'm going to do all these things. So it's a mind creation. It's not a wholeness creation. So we want to know the difference between that, because the mind always divides, always puts us on the good, bad. The heart dropping in unknown, now that opens the portal for something to come in beyond what we know, the unknown. And the unknown is, we have to have courage, because everyone has fear of the unknown, because we don't know. And we don't have a terrain, we don't have a map. So the movement moves you there, and I am at one unified field. I unify my timeline, the space, the vertical. And that way we are in our loop. That is our navigation machine, moving us through this time. Contained energy within, and not a bunch of people's energy within us. We're not the storage shed.
That makes sense.
Yes. Anyone else? Gary, it's nice to see you. How are you?
Yeah, how's it going? You remember me?
Yeah, so do you have any comments?
In reference to the previous caller, and the whole Chinese calendar thing, this is the year of the fire horse.
Yes, the fire horse.
So kind of connects with what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And they talk about the fire horses. This is a year for profound growth, like making bold moves.
Definitely.
So it's interesting, kind of lines up with this new moon.
Definitely. And it's funny because somebody just had me name their horse, and I said Crown of Fire, owning the fire, not over, contained fire. And, kind of the fire helps us break through the old structures, and with direction and focus. And that's what we're moving really into, is so much movement. And our attention still has to come within, because then otherwise we'll burn out. Too much fire, too much flame. We need to balance it with the water. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, nice to see you. Anything else?
Good to be back.
Yes, nice to have you back. So I may need to I have your phone number, I guess. Here, I'll text you the audio, or you've probably signed up, so it's probably coming through. But anything else anyone wants to say?
Kim,
Yes. Hi, Kay.
this is Kay.
Hi.
Hi. I just want to say thank you for reminding us about the word courage. I haven't thought about it in so long. It's such a great thing to remember. You know how you can think about your quote goals or your intentions, or
Yes.
whatever you focus on. I hadn't thought of that word, and it is self-empowering to remember.
Yes, especially because it creates
sort of
movement.
Movement. Is that what you said?
Yes, it creates movement. The courage, because without courage you can't move.
Yeah.
You'll go into the mind and say, can I do it? Can I not? Is it this or that? No, movement. It's more. Courage is to move. Like the fire horse.
It's sort of like faith,
Yeah.
but it's more active.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yes,
The
that's
movement
good.
part.
Right.
Yeah, it's propelling.
It's the fire. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The energy.
Yeah, it's the energy, it's the fire.
Faith is more passive in a way,
Yeah, maybe more vertical.
This is really helpful.
Yeah, maybe more vertical. Kind of courage is more on the space loop, the masculine, the active side. And, faith is more vertical. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome,
really,
Kay.
It's so funny how just that word is just thrilling to me right now.
Yeah, you can feel the energy in it. Yay.
Yeah, and you remember when I was telling you how I felt so tired right when we started?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel very energized.
Very energized, yeah.
The evening. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're like a feel-good pill.
You're welcome.
Feel good.
Lynn, do you have anything? Thank you, Kay.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, you have good reflections all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I just like hearing everybody.
Yeah, it's great. Well, wonderful. So thank you all for joining, and I'll send out a recap, and so much love. We will be on our horses here this week, being carried into this new realm, new reality. All right.
Great.
Thank you.